Rejection. We will experience rejection very often in our lives. Still, there are different types of rejection, and our goal is to learn to differentiate between reflex rejection, safety rejection, real or total rejection, and finally rejection as a test. In order to explain this division of rejection, I will present them in different scenarios. Rejection doesn't always mean that a woman is uninterested in us. But at the same time, kindness, a smile, a hug and similar things don't mean that she is interested in us. As you can see, this is all very confusing, which reflects the way women's minds are. But this doesn't mean that women are less intelligent or stupid, but that they decide and change their opinions based on their emotions. 1. Reflex rejection. This happens in situations when a man approaches a woman in an unseemly way. This could mean catcalling, being too upfront, any disrespectful words or actions, even disrespectful touch, or staring at her. This will make a woman reject a man in a reflex, even if he would have otherwise entered the 7 seconds rule. In some rare cases, a woman might find this behavior interesting, but the percentage of women who like this is very low, and we also never know what someone likes or doesn't like, so it's best not to risk it. Cultural norms of behavior demand that the first interaction with the opposite sex should come with a certain dose of respect, mixed with humor and unaggressive body language. To avoid reflex rejection, we can use the following tactics. We can use something that falls into the sphere of interest of the woman we want to approach. Something that will make her want to start a conversation with us. This can be a cute pet, a motorbike, a book, or some unusual piece of clothing. However, we don't know what might interest what person. However, if we are a dog lover, we can expect women who also love dogs to approach us when they see us walking our pet and engage in a conversation with us. It's only logical that people of shared interests will come together. Another way to avoid instant reflex rejection is to approach a woman with a genuine question or need for advice. Women love being asked for their advice or opinions. However, these questions must always be genuine, as lying will be noticed quickly. If we have entered a conversation with a woman through the previous steps and we feel like the conversation is warm and positive, we can conclude that we have entered the 7 seconds. In this case, we can attempt to arrange another meeting to continue talking about our interests. However, if the conversation was cold and short, with simple answers and the woman ended it quickly, if her body language is also cold and distant, then we can assume that we have failed to enter the 7 seconds. In this case, we should react the same way, to end all further communication and leave the woman alone. 2. Safety rejection. Considering that the woman we are meeting for the first time doesn't know us and she constructs her opinion of us based on our looks, the way we walk and our behavior, she may feel the need to reject us the first time. First and foremost, in order to not appear easy. The second reason might be because women are the weaker sex and she has to make sure that you are trustworthy and that she would be safe around you before she can return any advances. She has to keep a distance before she can gather enough information about you to trust you. In order to avoid this type of rejection, we require some way to prove that we are trustworthy, which is usually to have someone who the woman is familiar with and trusts vouch for you. This can be a friend, acquaintance, or even a barman at the bar, someone she sees often and trusts enough. In order to get people to affirm our trustworthiness, we need to be friendly towards everyone and make them see us in a positive light. Thus, they might vouch for us in these situations. 3. True and total rejection. This is a type of rejection where a woman is completely uninterested in us. This happens when we fail the 7 seconds rule, and if we recognize this, we must leave her be to not waste her or our time and energy. We can't expect everyone to like us. No matter what we do, someone won't like it. Very often the people around us won't be interested in us or what we have to say, but we shouldn't take this to heart or be angry at them. We should instead focus on the people who are open for communication, regardless of if we are interested in a relationship with them or not. If the person we are interested in reacts to us poorly and is cold or negative, we should leave them alone. There is also something called the game of mirrors, which is when a woman acts as if you are invisible, and when this happens, we must act the same way and ignore her. But at the same time, if you notice that a woman is interested in you, you must react to it and not ignore her. You have to be kind and respectful, because women like to compete, and if one is interested in you, it's likely that her friend will be as well, leaving you with the choice between which one you like more. There is also a saying that goes, every woman will forgive you for annoying her, but never for rejecting her. 4. Rejection as a test. There is also a type of rejection that women use so they can test us to see how we will react in the case that they reject or hurt us. Even though this belongs in a part of this lecture called test games, it's good that we know that this type of rejection also exists, and it serves to show a woman how much we are interested in her, how we'll react, and if she can manipulate with us or not. In case of any kind of rejection, we must never show that we are hurt, or that we care a lot about being with her. One of the ways to react to this is with a smile, by constituting how this isn't a big deal at all, and that we'll fulfill her wish and move away, both physically and emotionally. In this way, we show that we're not infatuated with this person, that we don't idolize her, and that we aren't in love, because then a man becomes emotional and irrational. The second thing is that through this we show that we'll respect her private space. The third thing we show with this is that we are ready to stop giving her love and attention, as that's what she asked. This causes women a fear of emotional loneliness and a lack of attention, and if she's interested in us, and this rejection was only a test, she'll do anything to still get us back and to prolong the communication and courting. This can be by physical touch, hand-holding, or another part of the body, a hug, or speaking compulsively. What women fear the most in this situation is that you will give up on her and give your attention to another. I believe that this seems complicated, pointless, and tiresome to you, but we have to understand that women simply love a little drama, and that they are ruled sometimes by their feelings instead of facts and logic. They also don't like men who will always do what they want, who will always be only hers. Because a man like that she can have whenever she wants, and that way he loses worth in her eyes and any desire to conquer him. This is the perfect way to get yourself into the darkest zone of social interaction called the friend zone. Another way to react in case of rejection is to say the following: I simply had to follow the man in me and try to be with you. This way we keep our pride, and show interest, but at the same time a possibility that we will retreat if needed, and that way pull all the emotional triggers that we have mentioned before. It often happens that a man's ego doesn't take rejection well and only makes them more infatuated. They become aggressive, fall in love, or become hurt and ceases all communication with the woman who rejected them. This is all understandable, and yet we have to remain strong and not show our feelings at any moment, because if we show them, women won't respect us, and if a woman doesn't respect us, she cannot love us. Finding the balance is hard, but it is possible, and if we can train ourselves, we will be on a good path to be respected by everyone in our life, be they men or women. Body language we need to train for rejection is chin up, back straight, a smile, and a pleasant word, for example, I wish you good night. And always be a gentleman. Good luck.